First know your danger, then spot the danger, steer clear of that danger, play it safe, play it safe. Know the danger, spot the danger, steer clear of that danger, play it safe. Boating is a lot like driving a car, but unlike driving a vehicle, you don't need a license to go boating. And that's where a lot of the problems begin. See, a person takes months and months to actually get a driving license. So it makes sense to put as much time into learning how to row a boat properly, or how to go sailing properly, or how to canoe properly. And one of the best ways to do this, of course, is to join a club. Apart from being safer that way, it's a lot more fun in a club. And it's more fun when you know that you're doing it right, right? A lot of accidents take place on family outings when people are unused to being around boats. Now, that's the first problem. And also, accidents take place when people are using boats that they're not used to. And one last thing I'd like to say is, it makes sense not to get into a boat unless you can swim. The best way to learn about boating is with a rowboat, because you control it yourself, and secondly, you don't have to worry about running out of petrol. Most large yachts or sailboats have rowing dinghies anyway to take them ashore, or to have in case of accidents. Be careful of that, slippery, yeah. And many people like us can rent rowboats for an hour or for the afternoon, or, well, you know, all day. Now, what are some of the things that we should know before we set out?
Well, I listened to the radio this morning and they said it's going to be sunny with less wind this afternoon.
Do you think I dress warmly enough if it gets colder?
Well, you've got this one anyway. So I'm going to see if there's any special things we should look out for from the hire man.
Good idea. Tony! Tony! Yeah, I forgot about life jackets. Bring the life jackets and tell them to expect us back in 1 hour. It's the same as with fishing or with swimming. You should always go with somebody. And if you're boating, you should always let them know when to expect you back, so that if you don't show up in that time, they know that they should come and look for you. Make sense, eh? Yes. Right now, what do we need to look for here?
Well, you better make sure the oars are there and the anchor.
Good. Oh, life jackets. Thanks, Sandy. Put your life jackets on.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we've got oars, anchor. There's a bit of rope on the bow to moor up with if we're going to stop anywhere. A baler, that's good. Anything else we might need?
If we don't know the area, we might need a map or chart of the area.
Is that a good idea?
That's not a bad idea.
And if we're going out to sea, we'd need some flares just in case.
Or a compass.
Or a compass, yeah. Flares or a compass, good. Anything special we should know about, Sandy?
Well, those rocks over there that are just sticking out the water there.
Anything under the water we should
No,
look at?
no, it's
Just
all
them.
clear, it's just those rocks.
Okay, good. Thank you. Now then. You okay? Shall we get in then? Who wants to go where?
Well, I'll sit at the back with Rachel.
Okay. Low down, low down. Put your weight into the middle if you can and get very low as soon as possible. Sit down. That's it. I'll get in first. Yeah, good. Because I'll be rowing. Now that's the position where you would stow the oars. Hang on a minute. I'll just show you where the oars would be stowed if you were leaving them in the boat. Who's next? Right in the middle. That's it. Sit down low as soon as you can. Okay. That's it. Good one. Now just shove those into there. Thank you. Okay, sir.
Back to England, John. Oh, pony there.
Can I row now?
All right, yeah. If you go to your left and stay very low, I'll go to my left. Swap places, that's it. Good girl. Put your feet on this bit here. That's it. Get the oars in the water then. This one's hooked under there. Yes. It's awkward, isn't it, at first? Let's get back into shore and I'll show you some things about canoeing now, eh? Now, as I said, if you want to learn how to canoe properly, join a club. This is the first time that I've ever been in a canoe. I mean, today is the first time I've ever been in a canoe. And what most people seem to be worried about, which I was worried about, is what happens if I tip up. So I'll show you. Now then, I was really worried about this because I didn't think I would know how to get out of it. And the chap who was teaching me said, well, you'll find you'll just get out of it anyway, and you've got your life jacket on, so let's do it. No problem. Just come straight out. And the important thing to do is to stay with your boat because, I should say with your canoe, because as you can see, once the canoe's tipped upside down, the opening is underwater, so all that air is trapped in there, and that's a beautiful float. That's very buoyant. The paddle floats. You should never let go of your paddle, as I just did. Make your way into the side. Don't try and get back into the canoe when it's on the water. Make your way into the side, and then you can empty the water out and refloat it and get into it again. If you're with friends, a couple of them in the canoe could perhaps turn that over and empty the water out and help you back into it, but it's a very expert business and you shouldn't try it when you're just starting. But you get your canoe out to the side, and if you're out in a very big body of water and you don't feel you're able to swim in, certainly stay with the canoe because it's a wonderful float and people can see it and they can come and rescue you. And aren't I glad I'm wearing one of these? Makes sense. All the boating we've done so far has been in warm water, but an awful lot of people every year drown in the winter when most of them didn't intend to be in the water in the first place. And it's that first terrible shock when you enter that water that is the most distressing. Out in the air, you're going to be losing body heat anyway from exposed areas of skin like the hands or the face or the top of the head. There's a tremendous heat loss from the top of the head. That's why I'm wearing this silly hat at the moment. But once you get in the water is such a good conductor of heat that it takes your body heat away very rapidly from every part of your body. And that body heat, of course, is vital to your staying alive. Now, survival time in winter, in cold water, can be something like 2 hours, maybe. That's survival time depending on things like how much clothing you've got, depends on the temperature of the water, depends on the amount of body fat you have. Also depends on if you're wearing a life jacket or not. Of course, if you haven't got a life jacket, you probably have to do some sort of swimming movements to keep yourself afloat. Whereas if you have a life jacket, you can bundle yourself up and conserve that body heat. I would also just like to briefly tell you a little bit about a serious illness called hypothermia. Now, simply explained, it's when somebody has been in cold water for a long time or exposed to wind for a long time and they've lost a lot of body heat. That's what causes it all. And it's also a thing that can happen when you, say you're out hiking and you haven't got enough warm protective clothing on. Now before we begin on the boat, what do you think might be some of the danger areas?
It looks pretty cold out in the boat. Look at those people coming in.
You're a bit shivery, eh? So warm clothes are a good idea. Trousers for you, those are yours, aren't they? And a hat. Of course, warm clothes won't make you warm in the water, but they'll give you that, they'll stop the body heat disappearing
keep the body heat in.
Yeah, good. And it could be sort of a lot of spray out there.
Yeah.
So, is that your waterproof one? Yeah, shove that on. I've got waterproof trousers. And that sort of rubber-soled sandals, they're pretty dangerous on a boat deck because they could slip and go sideways under your foot. So I think shoes and socks with rubber soles, good idea. Okay. If you can start putting those on, and I'll just shove this waterproof jacket on. But of course the most important thing is a life jacket. A life jacket is a must. Now, where's that go? Arm goes through there. Strap round the back. Put that little bit through there and then tighten that up as tight as possible. That's good. G'day.
Hi, nice to have you.
Darcy.
Darcy.
Darcy, yeah.
Gretchen.
Rachel, this is Rachel.
Hello.
Anthony. Now we've got a possible situation where it's important to know a little bit about hypothermia. Now imagine a gale has blown up here and one of us is washed overboard, all right? Now if it's an adult who's been drinking something with alcohol in it, then that adult is doubly at risk because alcohol in your body makes you lose body heat so much faster.
Yes.
I'll just hop in and show you some of the things that you should do if you suddenly find yourself in cold water.
Hey, what about your glasses?
Oh, thank goodness for you. I'm just going in with them on. Good luck, Rolf. They cried in unison.
Good luck.
Oh, it is cold. Well, the first thing to do, of course, is to get back to the boat and get out of the water. Even if the boat's capsized, try and get out of the water onto the boat. If you can't get out of the water, stay with the boat. It saves energy if you just hang onto the side of the boat. If you can't get back to the boat, don't swim. You've got your life jacket on, top it up. It's about as much air as I can get into it. Put the little cap back on. And then, of course, because you've got that life jacket, you don't have to do any swimming motions to keep afloat. You can just conserve your heat by tucking your arms up as close as possible, perhaps folding your ankles together and keeping your legs together like that. And the only thing you need to do is to perhaps wave one arm if you see somebody coming looking for you. I think I'll get back to the boat and I'll show you some of the signs of hypothermia. Dr. Livingston, I presume. Hey, it's cold. Now then.
Your glasses.
Yeah, you hang on for a minute because they'll only get sopping wet. I was going to tell you a little bit about hypothermia. Now, if I had hypothermia, my hands wouldn't be pink like that. They'd probably be bluish white. My face would all be bluish white. I'd have terrible twitches, like that, you know, really twitchy. Okay? And I wouldn't be able to speak properly. My speech would be all funny and blurry, and you'd be hard pressed to understand me. And I may not be able to see you. Anyway, look, I'm sick of you two kids. Look, clear off. I'm not serious, but that was maybe what might happen if this person had hypothermia, because they get really irritable without any reason. Now, things that you could do. Can I sit down? You don't mind, do you?
No.
I'm a bit cold, actually. The things that you could do for hypothermia is, first of all, see, what happens is all the heat's gone out of the extremities of my body, feet and hands, and any remaining heat would be right in by my vital organs, like the heart and the lungs. So what you could do, if you had a bath with some warm water, you could sort of dunk me in the bath, just my body, leave my arms and legs out of it for a while until I got warmed up. Not too hot. You could get my clothes off if you could manage to get them off. You know, it's not a time for silly modesty or giggling. You're trying to save somebody's life, see? Now, if you didn't have a bath, a sleeping bag. Have we got a sleeping bag on board? Grab a sleeping bag. So if you've got a sleeping bag, you should get me into the sleeping bag with a warm water bottle, not too hot, just a warm water bottle. Now, if I give us those because they look as if they're annoying you, and I'm dry enough now anyway. If you couldn't get me into the sleeping bag because I'm so wet, then you could wrap the sleeping bag round me. A warm drink would be good, once again not too hot, or a lump of sugar for some energy. Certainly no alcohol. You wouldn't give a person with hypothermia alcohol. Very bad. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I am a bit cold. Thank you. And another thing, if you haven't got a sleeping bag, any warm blankets or dry towels, or come and sit in close to me. You know Stacks on the Mill?
Yes.
When you play in as kids, you all jump onto one another. Well, that's very good for getting heat back into a person who's really cold. Get as close as you can to them, or lay on top of them or alongside them to get that body heat back again. Now, hypothermia is a very serious thing. The first thing you should do, once you've made the person as comfortable as you can, is to get a doctor. Call for a doctor as quickly as you possibly can. I'm not saying that everybody who goes out boating will get hypothermia. I mean, that's a silly thing to say, but it is nice to be able to recognise it and to know what to do about it. And you may save a life, and that life may be your own. Okay?
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay?